Have you ever found yourself just staring at a wall of skincare products wondering what's really inside those fancy bottles? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the whole world of anti-aging. We're going to get into the science, the professional services, and, maybe most importantly, the psychology they use to sell it all to us.
So let's start with the big question, right? Why do we choose one little jar over another? Is it the ingredients, the promises on the box, the sleek packaging? Honestly, this one question is the key to unlocking the entire industry.
To really get to the bottom of it, we have to understand the problem that everyone's trying to solve. And that story doesn't start on a store shelf. It starts deep, deep inside our own skin.
You see, the real battleground for youthful skin isn't on the surface. It's fought way down in its layers, the epidermis and the dermis. This is ground zero. This is where the things we see, like wrinkles and a loss of volume, actually begin.
Now, the hero of this story is a molecule called hyaluronic acid, or just HA. The easiest way to think of it is like a super sponge for your skin. Its whole job is to grab onto water and hold it there, and that's what gives young skin that plump, moist, and firm look we're all after.
And right here, this is the villain of the story. As we get older, our skin's natural supply of this amazing little super sponge just plummets. And it's simple math, really. Less hyaluronic acid means less water, and less water leads directly to wrinkles and sagging.
So if losing hyaluronic acid is the problem, the solution seems pretty straightforward, right? We just need to put it back. Let's take a look at one way to do that, a dermocosmetic treatment that was actually put through a serious scientific test.
This is the Filarina treatment. It's a pretty clever at-home system that's designed to deliver 6 different types of hyaluronic acid right to the skin, basically trying to replenish what time is taken away.
But the big question is, does it work? Well, to find out, researchers didn't just ask people for their opinion. Nope, they did a double-blind, randomized clinical trial, which is like the gold standard for research. That means nobody, not the subjects or even the researchers, knew who was getting the real deal and who was getting a fake placebo.
And what happened? Well, after 30 days of using it, the measuring instruments told a very, very clear story. The results weren't just a feeling, they were quantifiable, hard data.
Okay, get this. The study measured a 26.3% average decrease in wrinkle volume. That means the wrinkles were literally taking up less physical space on the skin.
They also saw a 21.8% average decrease in wrinkle depth. So not only were the wrinkles smaller, they were also measurably shallower.
And it wasn't just about smoothing things out. There was also a 14.2% increase in lip volume, which points to a real, visible plumping effect. But topical treatments are only one side of the coin. Let's shift gears and look at a totally different approach, one you definitely can't buy at the store. We're talking about powerful treatments you can only get from a licensed professional.
A chemical peel works on a completely different idea. Instead of adding something back in, a peel is all about taking something away. It uses special acids to gently remove those dull outer layers of skin, which then sends a signal to your body to kickstart its renewal process and create fresh, new skin.
The main difference here really comes down to power and purpose. Those peels you might buy to use at home, they're much lighter, designed more for maintenance. But the professional versions, whoa, they are way more concentrated and custom mixed by a therapist to deliver some seriously dramatic results.
The real workhorses in these peels are acids. You've probably heard of AHAs, right? Like glycolic acid. They're amazing for tackling signs of aging. Then there are BHAs, like salicylic acid. Those are oil-soluble, which means they can get deep down into pores, making them an absolute lifesaver for oily or acne-prone skin.
Okay, so we've got the science behind the problem, and we've looked at 2 very different solutions. But this is where our story takes a fascinating turn. Because having a solution is one thing, but selling it, that's a whole other game.
In advertising, that game starts with something they call a hook. It's that very first thing you see or hear, and it has one job, and one job only, to get you to stop and pay attention. Just like the opening scene of a great movie.
And the pressure is absolutely insane. When you're scrolling on your phone, an ad has just 1.7 seconds to do its job. Not to sell you, not even to convince you, but just to make your thumb pause. That's it, 1.7 seconds.
So let's connect the dots here. How did the exact products and services we've been talking about use these lightning-fast hooks to grab our attention in that tiny little window?
Well, one of the most effective techniques out there is the number hook.
For whatever reason, our brains are just drawn to hard data. A specific number just feels more credible, and it makes a promise feel so much more real than some vague claim.
Does this number look familiar? That negative 26.3% decrease in wrinkle volume from the Filorina trial? This is a perfect example. It starts out as a piece of scientific data, but in an advertisement, it becomes a powerful scroll-stopping hook.
Another incredibly common one is the results-based hook. This strategy doesn't really focus on the ingredients or the science. It focuses on the dream. It paints a picture of the life you'll have after you use the product.
So when that professional peel promises it reduces the appearance of hyperpigmentation, that's a classic results-based hook. It's not selling you glycolic acid, it's selling you the confidence of having a clear, even skin tone. It is selling you the result.
So the takeaway is this. The next time a beauty ad pops up on your screen, you can actually decode it. You can see the biological problem it's trying to solve, you can see the kind of solution it's offering, and you can see the specific psychological hook it's using to get your attention. So the question is, what are you going to do with that knowledge?